Mom, please, open the door. I don't want to be locked out here any longer.
You aren't a part of this family anymore. You go out and find somewhere else to live now.
Please. I promise I'll do better this next time. I promise to show you that. So please, Mom.
There will never be a next time. You were born into this family of doctors as their daughter, right? If you're not able to pass medical school the first time around, then you've already gone and embarrassed yourself enough. Hurry up and be gone with you.
For this next time, I'll try my best and pass. So just let me in. It's cold out here.
No! From today, moving forward, you are no longer going to be a part of this family, as we are cutting ties to you. If you continue to bang on the door like that, we'll have no choice but to call the police. We'll tell them you're trying to break into this house.
But Mom...
Do you have any idea what your recent father would think of you if he heard about how you failed medical school? If anything, it's for the best that he doesn't have to hear about this while being up in heaven. He was fortunate to have passed away before learning that his daughter is a failure.
Why, Mom? Why would you say such horrible things about me? You're always being so awful to me.
Because compared to your sister Rachel, you are nothing more than a failure. She was able to pass medical school in one go and has been one of the top scoring students from that school. Compared to a lost cause like you. Not only have you failed at becoming a doctor yourself, but all those tests you take landed you with low test scores.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry that I was never able to live up to the expectations you set for me after her.
I'm so happy that at least one of our daughters ended up on top.
What?
Anyway, I have no plans of letting you back into this house, so hurry up and go somewhere else. And you will not talk with Rachel about any of this either. Actually, I don't want you talking to her at all. Right now, she's on her own, going out into the real world to become a very amazing doctor. She will not have any failures around her, causing her any kind of disruption. All right?
All right, Mom.
You would be the downfall of this family.
You're fine. You can come over here. This place is very open, so there's no problem with you coming to a place like this. You and I can go ahead and share the room. Although I won't be around the house all too often while you stay.
Don't worry about it, Rachel. I'll have to be studying and things like that.
By the way, Lexi, why did you end up leaving the house? I never expected you, of all people, to be asking to come over and stay at my place for a while. Did something happen between you and Mom?
Well, about Mom.
What? What did she do to you?
Never mind. It's not like she did anything to me directly. I just ended up failing medical school is all. So she began to compare me to you and made it out as though I'm this huge disgrace to the family and that you were the angel she was expecting from the both of us.
I see. Well, I'm not anything special myself, though. And as for you failing out of medical school like that, you've been trying so hard there.
I know. But unlike you, I'm even less special than you and didn't try nearly hard enough to make it through that school.
I wonder about that. You happen to be very good at memorizing things, and to me, you're far more powerful than myself when it comes to the books. We both happen to be very special in our own ways, I think. I get that Mom thinks I'm far superior compared to you due to some test results and me making it out of that school, but you and I are sisters, and she shouldn't be comparing the two of us like that. She should be trying to build the both of us up so that we both can succeed. If she's not going to be able to do that for us, though, then let's you and I support one another.
All right. Good idea, actually. Thank you, Rachel.
Man, sharing this place with my sister? This is going to be so fun. So when are you going to be moving in?
Can I come there tonight?
What? Tonight? Well, that's pretty soon, actually. I don't really mind you being here by tonight.
Also, could you refrain from ever telling Mom about you and I living together once I've moved in?
Why? So, there really is something more going on between you and her right now, isn't there?
No. Don't get any ideas from that. I don't want you to start thinking that there's anything wrong with Mom, but just know that things at home have changed for me a little bit.
Ah. I see. So that's why you don't want her knowing about this. She may seem like a very nice woman on the outside, which sometimes she is. But when it comes to things within the family, she can be rather strict about them, right? I understand why you'd want to stay hidden from her for a while now. Especially after she started to compare you to me. Well, don't worry about her. I'll do my best to act as though I've never heard or seen anything from you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Why are you at a place like this, Lexi? That was you off to my side just a second ago, right? What the hell do you think you're doing right now?
Mom. Long time no see.
Don't start telling me long time no see, like you and I were ever meant to see one another again. You were cast out of my family, right? Did you forget about that? Why have you come all the way to Rachel's wedding now?
I know that you happened to cut ties with me, but Rachel never told me she was going to cut ties with me. So I have a right to be here at her wedding, right?
You sure do not have that right. You are a disgrace to my family. You do not fit in with the rest of these people at this wedding anymore, so go away right now. I don't want you making Rachel out to be some kind of loser sympathizer or something as disgusting as that.
So you're still going on about how I'm a loser and a failure? You need to stop saying things as childish as that to me, especially since it's been 10 years now since the last time we saw one another. Now calm yourself down and get back to being an adult, please.
What kind of talk is that coming from you? The way you talk to me like you actually mean anything at all. You have quite the mouth on you now for someone who is the failure of her family and nothing more than a disgrace to them now. There's no use in you anymore. Well, no matter. I'll go have a word with the staff here and have them all walk you out of this wedding and lock you outside.
Oh, is that right? Well, go ahead and do so.
Wow, she already found you? Mom is making a very big deal out of the situation now. I was just told by the staff here that my mom is trying to have you kicked out of here.
That's right. That woman hasn't changed one bit, even after a full decade has passed. Can't believe I even still think of someone like her as my mother.
That's true. I feel just as surprised as you do. I'm starting to really lose faith in her and might not be able to continue allowing her to be here.
If you started to put some more distance between her, though, wouldn't she feel pretty lonely in this world? I mean, she's always been bragging about how you're her daughter. As if all your achievements are somehow her achievements as well.
I'm sorry, Lexi. Ever since Dad passed away, I never realized that Mom was being so cruel to you and that you had to suffer through all that without my support.
What are you going on about now? I told you before that I'm not worried about all that anymore. Right after Dad had passed away, you moved out of the house and started to live on your own while going to med school. So you had no way of knowing about what was going on. And actually, the fact that you took me in and cared for me after I was kicked out of the house has left me very thankful to you. Because of your support, I was able to grow myself and get to many places, and I'm no longer afraid of Mom.
But I never really did anything. Hey, let's start preparing for the speech that has to be given today. We only invited her to this wedding for that reason anyway, right? To watch and listen to what we both have to say about her.
That's right. Thank you again, Rachel.
You are still at this wedding, Lexi? If you're not going to budge from this place, I will have to call the police on you. I'll tell them you're looking suspicious and need to be dealt with.
I happen to be the bride's younger sister. There shouldn't be anything suspicious about me being at a wedding I was invited to.
I told you already that you're nothing to her anymore. You're not her sister, nor are you even her friend. I will not allow someone who couldn't make it out of our med school the first time to be a part of my family. You are useless. This is supposed to be Rachel's big day, and I will not let you embarrass her any longer.
Mom, who even are you to Rachel? I was invited to this wedding by Rachel herself. So who do you think you are, where you just get to sit there and complain about the bride's choices?
I am Rachel's mother is who I am. I am far more important than she is because I birthed and raised her. That should make sense to everyone, right?
Is that right? That's one way to put it, I suppose.
So you hurry it up and get out of here. I doubt someone like you even works a job worth mentioning, so we can all just consider you jobless and a lowlife, right? A woman like you that gets kicked out of a family of doctors is nothing more than a stain on society. And I don't ever remember this family inviting stains like you to their weddings.
You still have no clue then.
What?
Right now, I happen to be a doctor. After you kicked me out of the house, I went back and studied even harder, passing at the top of my class before graduating. And right now, I work as a doctor for the university's hospital.
You do? You liar! There's no way a waste of human life like you would be able to become a doctor.
I'm sorry, but I am one now. If you don't want to believe me, though, you can go ask Rachel about it.
Oh, for some reason, I'm sure you might be one. But what does that have to do with anything?
Huh?
I'm sorry that you're feeling so powerful right now just because you're a doctor. But even if you happen to be one now, you can't change the past where you had failed med school and had to try again, right?
And you're absolutely right about that. But I went about things with my own pace and ended up gaining a lot of achievements in the process. That's why I'm able to brag about myself now. I happen to have become a very skilled and professional doctor after all.
Huh! Like that's true at all? Compared to a doctor that had to start all over again and study even more, Rachel is a natural doctor and didn't even have to try in order to become one. And she so happens to have some personal connections. She's on a completely different level than you.
Personal connections.
That's right. Not only is she good at what she does, but she also has some very impeccable communication skills. The man she's marrying is the owner of one of this country's most famous hospitals, right? No matter how much you try to surpass her, she will always be one level too far for you to reach.
Self to her all the time. I am myself and she is herself. What's wrong with the both of us living two different lives with different goals?
I wouldn't want someone as useless as you, who happened to be kicked out of my family, to gain too much confidence. That might end up coming back to haunt my daughter and I in the future. Well, anyway, you seem to have become a doctor yourself, so I'll allow you to be at this wedding until the end. But in return for that, you keep the fact that you failed med school the first time a secret. Understand that?
I knew that you were awful. But you really are just the most rotten human of us all. What do you even think of your daughters? If you find that by having one daughter like me who failed a year at school to be such a terrible stain on the life of your other daughter, then what about you? What about the mother of those two daughters that married a doctor and brags about being a family of doctors, never being a doctor herself?
What's that? Why would I ever need to become one?
You married a man who is a doctor. That's all you did. I don't understand why just that one thing led you to believing that this was supposed to be a family of doctors. The only reason Rachel and I ever wanted to become doctors ourselves was to respect Dad and honor him. We never chased after these dreams in order to give you something to brag about all that time.
You really seem like talking crap out of that filthy mouth of yours now, huh? You are still my daughter, all right? You better watch what you say the next time you speak to me.
Didn't you cut ties with me, though? Am I your daughter again? Only because you found out I'm a doctor now? I wonder how embarrassed must feel right now after saying something like that.
Shut up! If you really want to be kicked out of this wedding that badly, then I'll make it happen for you. Rachel, I'm sorry to have to bring this up right as your wedding is about to start. Your sister happens to be very jealous of you right now and is going to try and ruin your wedding in order to make herself feel better.
You think so?
I mean, that woman is still single, right? And for a very long time now, it seems she's felt inferior to you. It looks like she's going to use this wedding to get back at you. So we have to have her kicked out of here right now.
Ugh. Mom, you really need to stop trying to make Lexi look bad.
What? What has gotten into you?
I mean, you're lying to me right now. What do you mean she's jealous of me?
That is not a lie. That woman is planning on ruining your wedding today in order to get back at you.
Let's start with this then. Lexi is not single right now. She's married to Robert's older brother.
What? Robert's older brother?
That's right. The man that's running St. Mary's Hospital right now. They met back in med school and soon after got married while both becoming doctors. And the reason Robert and I were able to start dating is due to those two getting married.
Is that so? I never knew anything about that.
And that's why the two of us were planning on giving a speech for you today.
What? A speech for me? What do you mean by that?
For the longest time now, Lexi and I have been talking to one another. We wanted to find the perfect way of getting back at you for all the trouble you've caused us.
For the longest time now, you've been talking? Have you guys been meeting with one another this whole time?
We have been. After you had kicked her out of the house for good, she had been living with me in the same room. She'd always wanted to start living on her own anyway, and in order to make that work for her, I said she could come and live with me for a little while and I could help her with some of her studies.
Is that so? Well, how nice of you to do that for her. And that's very responsible of her to keep at all those studies. I guess I did have the wrong idea of her after all.
It's funny that you were just lying to me about her in order to get her kicked out of here.
And yet now you're wanting to change sides and act as though you're happy with the way she's turned out? Disgusting, that is. What?
I hope you really enjoy the speech we have planned for you, Mom. We have to make sure everyone here knows about the kind of things you've been doing to Lexi and I.
Wait. What do you mean you hope I really enjoy this speech? Hey, Rachel. Hey. Wait. Hey, what the hell was all that about? You are an asshole. That was all a lie.
How was all of that a lie? All of those were things you'd been saying to Lexi all along, right?
But all of that was stuff you should not be bringing up at a wedding, for crying out loud. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Embarrassed, huh? Then would you please leave my wedding now?
What?
Mom, starting today, I'm going to be cutting ties to you. So would you hurry up and leave now? I don't want you around me anymore.
Why, Rachel? I've been so kind to you all this time, right?
That has nothing to do with this. I have learned about all the things you've done to Lexi, and I no longer feel comfortable having you in my life anymore. Everyone at this wedding was shocked when they learned about what you've done to her, right? Hurry up and leave now. I don't want to see your face ever again.
You're being so heartless. I'm sorry about all of that, so please don't kick me out of here.
I no longer think of you as my mom and would like that you no longer see me as your daughter. I know the only reason you care about her in the first place is for your pride. Am I right?
Well, that's not true at all.
You just wanted to become the mother of doctors. You didn't actually care about being a mother, right? After hearing and seeing all of the things you've said and done to Lexi, I know that's the truth. You should be feeling embarrassed now. I feel embarrassed just by having you at my wedding.
Come on now, Rachel. I've been thinking about the both of you all this time.
I really don't want to talk to you anymore. Just speed it up and leave my wedding, please. If you don't, I'll have the security come over and toss you out of here.
What? All right. Hey, Lexi. I'm so sorry about everything I've done to you. You became a doctor and are now married to the owner of St. Mary's Hospital, right? Oh, that's quite amazing. I really misunderstood the kind of person you'd become.
And? What do you want from me now?
I would like you to forgive your mother. After that speech, I learned exactly what all I was doing wrong and where things went wrong. From now on, I'm going to better myself. So give me one more chance for you and I to...
The only reason you're saying you want to better yourself now is because you realize that I've become yet another kid that you can use to brag about yourself, right?
What?
Had I never gone back and tried again to become a doctor, would you still be asking me to make things right with me right now?
Of course I would be. You're one of my very important daughters, after all. I love you, no matter what you do with your life.
The only person you love is yourself. And now every single person that's at the wedding knows that about you. That's why I think it's time you just left this place and went home. All you're doing now is making yourself look even worse.
Why, Lexi? I have no intention of leaving this place. I have to make sure that the life your father wanted us all to have continues on.
The life Dad wanted. Something tells me it's not what you're after here. Something tells me that the only thing you want to continue is getting money from those around you.
What?
I happen to know about what all happened after Dad passed away. You went and spent all the money Dad had left behind, right?
Hold on, that's
Rachel was kind enough to show me your spending history from the past 15 years, and it looks to us that you had no idea how to save money. I've heard about this from others in the family as well, and how much they tried to talk with you about getting you to stop what you were recklessly doing. Day after day, you'd go out to eat high-end foods while shopping for only the most expensive brands. You'd always go on about how you were from a family of doctors, yet you were the only one in the family who just sat around all the time spending the money your husband made. You're a freaking joke. Dad left you some $15 million, and it's all gone now, within 15 years.
Who cares? I have the right to use my money however I'd like to, right? I was the one that was allowed to get all his money after he died, so why are you complaining about that?
I never said I was complaining about that. Honestly, you had every right to do what you wanted with that money. What I'm talking about now, though, is that you need to take care of yourself. Both Rachel and myself have no plans of helping you along with money. So you're going to figure out how to support yourself again. Although that might be hard for you considering you've never needed to support yourself for close to 30 years now.
Hold on a second. If you don't help me, then I won't be able to pay for this place. You guys can't do that to me. I've been the one raising you both ever since you were born, right? Do you not feel any kind of thanks for all that I've done?
No, you have not been raising us ever since we were born. Dad was the one taking care of us all the time, and once he died, I don't ever remember you doing a single thing to help us out. The day he passed away, you went and fired the housemaid who he had around who would do everything for us. And then you went forcing Rachel and I into doing all the cooking and cleaning for ourselves. All while you would go out and play with the money and time you were left.
That's,
I I get the feeling of wanting to live life like a celebrity, but that means you shouldn't be forcing both your daughters to work hard and succeed. Rather, you should be working hard to succeed yourself. Rachel and I are not here right now to make you feel like you're on top of the world. We never have been. We've just been two sisters that have been wanting to work as doctors out of both respect for our hardworking dad and respect for ourselves. And we've had so much respect for ourselves, actually, that we will not continue to be your pets. So give up on it already, Mom, and go do something with yourself in order to make money or something.
I know that already, but please, Lexi.
If you know that already, then you shouldn't be asking for our help. Instead, you should be helping yourself. You're contradicting yourself right now by asking for our help even though you say you learned your lesson.
Come on, what am I going to do? If I don't at least get something in return from you both, then I'll have no place to go. There won't be a thing that I can do.
Shut up already and get lost, Mom. You wouldn't want to make Rachel look bad on the day of her wedding, right? After that, Mom slowly made her way through the crowd of guests at my sister's wedding, as a lot of them would say some words about her under her breath. Once she got to the door nearest to her, she took one look back at my sister, who was up on the stage with her husband, waiting for her to leave. But of course, Rachel did not say another word to her. She then left the place, and the moment that door slammed shut, we all got back to enjoying the wedding and watched as the vows were said. When my mom got back to her house, she ended up taking one last look at the bill for the month's rent and whatever money she had left in her bank account before she tore the bill to shreds and broke down. Not too long after that, she was evicted by the owner of the apartment complex for not paying rent and had to take all the things she could with her. She then tried to go back to her parents' house, but neither of them wanted anything to do with her after what they saw at the wedding. As of right now, she's not a single person she can rely on for help and is having to live on the streets as a homeless person. I think this gap in her life, going from living like a celebrity to having to beg for money on the streets, has really gone and wrecked her heart and mind for good. She's tried many times now to get back in touch with either Rachel or myself, but both of us ended up blocking her number, so she'll never get anything from us. Rachel also ended up moving after her wedding, leaving my mom with no idea where she went. And she was going to have no chance of finding me, considering it's been 10 years since we last spoke, and she had no idea that I'd even gotten married and moved out of town. I'm really not too sure what that old woman is up to anymore, but considering just how rotten her character is, I'm sure she's doing nothing with her life besides begging for money or living in some dark alley. I know that she was never a great mom or even a great woman in general, but I like to think that the only reason I did continue to work hard and become a doctor was because of how she kicked me out of the house 10 years ago. So although this hurts me a tad bit to say, I am thankful for the moment we had between us. Right now, both my sister and I, being married to doctors who both run hospitals, are going to have such amazing lives, and I can't wait to see what happens next for the two of us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next story.